'Tis the season to be jolly, and things are looking up for Plymouth Argyle. Many fans are saying after playing Sheffield United and now Middlesbrough, going to be absolutely fine. We're going to review all social media and talk to Chris about whether he thinks that's the case as well. Welcome back to 10 minutes of Plymouth Argyle chat, reviewing the latest game, the incredible 3-3 draw against the Boro. Also, some fans are calling for the jump back to Hazard, saying Grimshaw perhaps needs a rest. What do you think about that? Let us know in the comments below. And now that Plymouth have played every single game, who's going to finish top and who's going to finish bottom? We've got Chris back with us, looking very festive. Chris, how are you?
I'm all good, Mark. Yourself?
Yeah, looking good. Middlesbrough, wow. Have you just recovered from that game?
It was entertaining, that's for sure. 3 times we go in the lead and 3 times they come back. We were as good up front as we were poor defending. To be fair, with those 3 goals, each time we conceded, it was naive defending, if the truth be told. But, you know, we got 3 goals against a team that were lying in 8th, they're now 6th. We'd have always taken a point before the game, but it felt like almost a defeat each time you were winning. So, yeah, it was a tough ask, but a well-earned point.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at some social media takes, shall we? From the game, Alexander says another good performance, but disappointed not to win. We deserved way more than a point. Do you agree with that, Chris?
Yeah, very much so. The downside of Saturday was, like I said, going 3 goals up each time, you know, 1-0, 1 each, 2-1, 2 each, 3-2 to us. And the third one was shocking defending, to be honest with you. We had chances to clear it twice and just didn't do so. The downside of that game for me was it was great getting the 3 goals, but it's cost us 3 massive injuries. If our injuries wasn't bad enough, we've got another 3 to add to it, you know, and that was poor, really, especially over the Christmas period. We've got games coming thick and fast, haven't we?
We'll have a look at some of the defending in a second for one of the goals. Ziad and others were saying that Rooney and Phelan have got it playing like a proper side, an important point against promotion contenders. Only Jan says 2 good performances in a row against promotion contenders. The points will come if we keep that up. And Guy adds that Phelan's having an impact already. Can you see that? I know it's hard to tell who's doing what, but does this feel a very different side to 3 weeks ago?
Very much so. I mean, I said last week when we played Sheffield United, going up there at Bramall Lane and then taking the leaders on, and we deserved something up there. We didn't get it, but we deserved it. And we proved on Saturday again over two games in 7 days. We're capable of getting these points. Admittedly, we got something at home. Now we've got to make our away away performance better and get the results in, you know. And if we can do that, yeah, we'll be safe. We can only go up.
Lampard versus Rooney on Boxing Day is going to be good, isn't it? And then a trip to Oxford, 2 huge games against sides that are, well, we're going to be right down there with you.
Yeah, massive games, Mark. I mean, there's 6 points in the bag there, but what do we get out of those? I'd love to think we can get 3 points out of those 2 games. The one that's we're likely to get anything, obviously, is going to be Oxford. But I'll certainly like to go to Coventry and Highfield Road and think, well, we can get a point there. That's for sure.
Okay,
why not?
Yeah. Go to the CBS Arena instead, though.
CBS.
Rather than Highfield Road. Have a look at this freeze frame. Joe is saying Andre Gray went wandering. Al Haj leaves his man completely. Mumba just stands by and watches what's going on. A comedy of errors, literally minutes after going back in front for the 3 goals. Ben saying, "Who cared? We scored 3 goals. We're at bottom of the championship. Time for happy clappers." Are we celebrating a bit too much these recent performances? Because at the end of the day, it's still only 1 point after 2 games. But is it the fact that you can see progress, Chris, that is this cause for celebration and not so much the points?
I'm not sure about celebration, Mark, but we can see improvement, and with improvement becomes hope, and that's all supporters want, is hope that we can do something like we did last year and remain in this division. And if we can continue the way we have done over these 2 previous games, then that gives us hope, and hope, well, all supporters want that, don't we?
Absolutely. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Have these performances looked a lot better, and what's the reason for that? There's a couple of fans that are shouting out for a change, though, this week at Coventry. I want to get your view on this, Chris. Slightly controversial, given that you've talked about how good Grimshaw has been. John says maybe it's time for Hazard to return for Grimshaw in goal. Carl, who's obviously a regular on here, says it's getting to the point where I'd go back to Hazard. He was brilliant before his injury. Minus 23 goal difference isn't good enough. I feel Grimshaw could have done a bit better with some of the few goals we've let in of late. He's not the biggest of keepers either. What's your view on that one, Chris?
Well, my view is that people got short memories. In November, he was our player of the month, so we're only a couple of weeks into December and they're already wanting to get rid of him. Okay, the guy might have been able to do better with that third goal, but it wasn't just him, it was a calamity of errors, but no, I'm happy with Dan, to be fair. I know he could have done better with his kicking on Saturday, but that's the life as a goalkeeper. You're not going to get it 100% right 100% of the time. So for me, he's a far better keeper than what Hazard is. He commands his area so much better. His kicking is so much better. And I don't have an issue with Dan Grimshaw in goal. Like I said, last month, player of the month. This time, people want to kick him. Get over it.
Brilliant. Well said indeed. Lastly, this week, you've now played nearly all the teams apart from Coventry and Oxford, of course. So it's time to kind of ask you who's been the team that you've been most impressed with and the one that you think is almost certain to go down based on how they played against you. Let's go with the team at the top first. Who blew you away the most, having that you've been to every game?
Yeah. I'm going to say to you, Sheffield United, I made a prediction about 2-3 months ago that I thought that they would win the league. And I'm not changing that opinion now, Mark. Like I said at the time, they've got the best keeper in the division for that. And they've arguably got the best manager to see them in to get promotion. I can't see anyone else getting top of the table as much as what I can. Sheffield United bottom. From what I've seen, I haven't yet seen Oxford United play, but my prediction is that they'll end up below us.
Okay. Who's the worst side that you've played that you thought, crikey, these are as bad as us?
Well, it's a tough one. Who's as bad as us? Portsmouth.
Yeah.
They had chance after chance after chance, and they just couldn't take them. So they're going to be a team that they won 4-0 on Saturday. So maybe their luck's turned as well. But from what I saw at Home Park, they weren't great.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you very much. If you've just come across the channel, we'll make this content every single week, reviewing every single Plymouth game, and we'd love you to be a subscriber and follow us through. It's really important to us that we make some great content for you. So thank you very much for all your support, especially those of you who have already subscribed. And wishing all of you a very Merry Christmas, and thank you for all your support over the last 4 months from Jaden and Chris and Carl and all the rest of the team here on Where Pilgrims Walk. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas. Good, fingers crossed for some points either against Coventry or against Oxford. And of course, we'll see you back here in the new year to do the other 23 games with you. Thank you, Chris, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to all the viewers, subscribers, and yourself, Mark.
Have a good one.